dividend and down the line your pocket of the have length. Make sure say that your dollars are be full of strength.
Stood up for me when no one cared. Stood up for me where other men wouldn't dare. Made me know what true man's love. Never made me feel he's old. Never gave me love that's cold. You had better watch your food. Old men will dip into your
Don't you want a old man, me
plate.
never said that she wrong. Cause she a deal with a foundation. Leave the young man no go mash up a plan. And she wants some dollars in her hand.
I'm in love with a man nearly twice my age. Don't know what
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
And the timer in SVG, it is 7:45. And this is usually the time when we get commentary from Mr. Kingsley De Freitas. All right, so I haven't seen him call us yet. So Kingsley, I'm giving you a few seconds. All right, so usually by this time, if we haven't seen Kingsley call, it means that he is probably busy. All right. So, all right. So that's something else down in WhatsApp. I have to deal with that after. Okay, so yes. Nicole, so the song that I played a while ago, I never knew what it was. I was just saying stupidness the whole time. I never thought it. You said it's no idol. What you said?
No idol Juby. A Juby is a worthless man.
Oh, I learned something new today. She wanna idol Juby. I don't know Juby. No, but I know you were saying she wanna idol Juby. Idol Juby. All right. I never knew that. All right. So I learned something new today. So Juby is a worthless man. Okay. All right. Or a waste man. Okay. All right. Learn something new every day. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
All right. So we were ending on the part where we were talking about, you asked the question, when did we lose compassion? Suppose as a society or maybe as human beings, because we could extend it past just Trinidad and Tobago. So
that's what I was saying, about, going wider.
Yeah. Tell us more about what exactly led you to ask this question.
So our Prime Minister, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, fell down 2 days ago at a public event, right? And the comments on social media has informed me that people just don't care. You don't care about a human being having fallen. This could have been my auntie, your auntie. It could have been a relative. It could have been one of us. But I feel like when people are so very focused on their political allegiance or their lack of, concern about who is leading or just things that they don't like you. They don't like this or that. Or it's not a part of their narrative. They seem to be inclined, and I'm gonna say we as humans, right? Because I don't like to remove myself from anything that I feel is human. So I kind of I paused. It made me pause, and then I started to read more into the comments, and I thought, we getting like a lot of other people where once something is not aligned to what we care about or believe in or believe, it removes all sense of compassion. What is lovely, and I mean, I'm not even surprised, is that Penelope Beckles, the leader of the opposition, reached out immediately. She offered her, commiserated with her in terms of hoping she's okay, wishing her a speedy recovery if she had any injury. Thankfully, she didn't. But for me, it's like, besides the fact that this is probably not the political party you're aligned to or affiliated with, or that you care to be associated with, this is a human that fell. This is a person. And this is also a leader. And it could have been anyone in our household that we're familiar with. It could have been ourselves. So that lack of compassion and care brought me to ask a few questions. And again, I went on a bit of a rampage because I'm often, I'm often provoked to ask that question publicly. And the interesting thing is, depending on the forum I go to ask it, I see what I understand in a behavioral sense. So I asked it on my Facebook, in my Facebook community, and people commented. They were feeling free and safe to comment. And then I placed it very gently on my, gently but sternly on my LinkedIn page. And not a person has yet responded or commented. And it tells a lot about where we feel safe to comment or where we feel safe. And I believe in safe spaces, but I also believe in democracy and conversations to be had. So this was just concerning me over the last few days and hours. I just don't know where the compassion went.
Mm-hmm. I suppose I could extend this even to the incident when a stone was thrown at the head of our prime minister. No, it would never be something that I could condone. It would never be something that I could be happy with. All right. We're not always going to agree politically on everything. There are some persons who may or may not be our cup of tea, whatever the case may be. I would never look at harming someone as gaining the upper hand on an individual or gaining the upper hand on a situation, right? And what it is that actually, even recently, because something I saw on social media, it's actually even somebody's, but I don't know if I know the person. I can't remember now, but it is their profile picture on social media, and it is a cricket ball that was thrown at the head of here. It's one of those like an animation type of image, right? A cricket ball that is thrown at the head of the PM, signifying, well, the bad situation that had happened to him. And, it's one of those things, like, for me, it's like, even if you don't like somebody, it should never have to come down to that, right? And to me, it is petty and it also is childish, because in the incident where the PM fell, okay, she fell. She is human. These things are going to happen to us. It could happen to any one of us. Why is there a reason for this to go viral? Why is there a reason for persons to make a mockery of it, right? I don't know. It's so difficult sometimes to have these type of conversations because it's so immature. It's just so immature and so petty, and it's rough to have these type of conversations because you are going to be talking to adults about these type of things. Like, do you laugh? I mean, the thing of it, okay, so if it's a friend of mine and the person fell, I might laugh with them in the moment, but the day that becomes viral, I might not find it so funny, because me and the person and I, we have that type of relationship where depending, I might laugh. I might not laugh if my mother falls, but if Dianna falls directly in front of me and it's not captured on video, I might chuckle or something or laugh. I might laugh and then help her, but I just find the things that we do and we demonstrate, especially on social media, sometimes it just gives an insight into our level of maturity. And yeah, it is challenging to have these type of conversations with adults, all right, or to pull up adults. All right, so we have somebody who's been trying to call for a while, so let's take this call. Dave, good morning. Dave Roberts.
Good morning.
Morning.
I love that question raised by our Trinidadian friend. I can say it's good to have her, especially where Trinidad is concerned. I love Trinidad. I have a lot of family acquaintances in Trinidad. That's why I asked you the question about Jean Miles the other day. And I'm really looking forward to hear what you have unearthed about Jean Miles. Because things start in many ways and so on. The Caribbean And anytime something starts in the Caribbean, it seems to have a domino effect. But what you said there, it's no surprise to me. You see, sometimes we look up. Yes, I know we have this tendency to look up, or we are expected to look up to our leaders, for example. But if our leaders are not showing the right example to us as a people, what do you expect? You understand?
So somebody
Over
falls and you
years-
find it funny, and you bring politics into
Hello?
that. I mean,
No, that's nonsense.
oh, okay. I just needed to make sure you're
My
all right. Okay.
my intelligence tells me more about that. I know what that, come on. But I can give you incidents of where our leaders have led us. Some of us don't like to hear it because our minds don't have that clarity of what democracy, decency, where life is concerned. We all have to treat one another with respect and love. I get very passionate when these things come up because I can see, yes, I would say, you ask the question, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Where did we lose our compassion? I love it. I love the question because after a while, we remove ourselves from basic humanitarian practices. That's what we did. We see ourselves better than some people. This is the evolution we have gone through, I don't know if I'm making sense. Right? But we're supposed to, we are one people. Huh? But think of some of the ways that we treat our people, our own people, our neighbors, our brothers, our sisters. Huh? Think about those things. Like I tell you, one of these days I may itemize or put a name out a list of the things that that would have led us into this kind of situation. Anyhow, listen for other people to hear what they have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dave. All right. So somebody on the WhatsApp is saying, well, good morning to both of us. Always love these real conversations. Keep in mind, social media magnifies what already exists in society. The negativity and insensitivity has been with us since time immemorial. All right, and that is actually a point that I wrote down based on something that Dave said. Part of me wonders if because social media exists and the need for things to go viral or for some individuals to be the first to post, do persons think that everything needs, number one, to go viral, and number two, that everything needs to be commented on? And as I said, it gives an insight into the individuals and part of what it is that this person is saying as well. Is it a case where we are also breeding ground of negativity? Do we just live for negativity? Do we live to see things happen to individuals so that we could say, I'm glad this happened to you, right? Persons in politics, they're so exposed to this. Persons who are public figures, they're so exposed to this because every little thing that they do comes under scrutiny. It's under a magnifying glass. You say one thing and you possibly say it, you misquote or you mispronounce or whatever. People are going to nitpick at every little thing. Take that, put that on social media, and everybody takes it and runs with it, and it becomes viral. And there are times when you have to, I can understand why people just stay away from social media or stay out of the limelight. I also think that sometimes the true essence of who persons can truly become, we don't always see it because they don't want to have to deal with all of that. Persons just want to do their work, go home and just stay in their houses because you don't even want to make a comment on anything because you don't know how persons are going to take it or misinterpret what you said. I do think that there are many times we are just a breeding ground for negativity. We really and truly are.
Agreed, 100%. But we could change that. We have the power.
And that's the thing. I think sometimes it's just about being vocal. I think sometimes the persons who want to see the change, they are not allowed to be vocal on it because many persons are going to also pull them down for trying to spin it into positivity, you know? So we have a caller here. Good morning, Optimus Prime. I remembered. Morning.
Good morning, morning.
Morning, morning.
Ladies. How you all doing? Fine?
We
Friday
good.
is here.
Man, Friday is here. Yes.
Yeah, and Friday is here. It's good for us here too.
Oh,
You know, the
Labor
weekend
Day.
starts. Yeah, there's some Vinci action starting from tonight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, I might check out one or two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Concerning the issue with for one, the threatening and the journalists.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might know Mr. Weeks. Weeks calling in one radio station, and when he finished, somebody called his phone and threatened the man. I couldn't believe that, Mr. Weeks. Somebody would threaten Mr. Weeks. Seriously. You know, that ain't nice. These are the kind of things that, politics breed into the society when you go to the extreme. And in terms of the PM and the Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister, I mean, come on. How far would we go? I mean, even the things like opposition ministers or senators, they themselves, don't condone these things. Instead of they kind of light it up. And so it continue in the society. You don't say things like, who tell you to walk through the crowd? It was a peaceful protest. You have to come out publicly and denounce these kind of things. And, send the message to the society that, you don't want to tolerate these kind of things. It's not good for the society. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, Dave made the point that it had to start from the top. I mean, people who you looked up to condone these things, and you send a message. All right, that's my little 2 cents for the
conversation,
for the program this morning.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
And enjoy the Labor Day holiday and celebration.
But one thing with the Labor Day celebration, I think it wouldn't be a good celebration, because I don't think the parade would be as big as before, because a lot of people here talking about ICE
safety,
and I see a lot of function that I see the participation. West Indian in function is down by half. For example, 2 Saturdays ago we had the Vinci Day, and our estimate normally usually be like 10,000-12,000 extra state park. When we look at it last 2 Saturdays, it's like half of that, and it's not like people who is illegal in the country, but it's like people who have a little run-ins with the law. I mean, who is legal, and think that maybe if they pick them up, they go back in the file and they might see they had something, even maybe a misdemeanor, a little federal this, and they might pick them up. So people, the they don't go around these function as before.
Yeah. I think all of this was expected.
I hope it would be a good one without any kind of thing like ICE arresting people and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That thought is always present. Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much.
All right. Have a good one.
You as well. Thanks. All right. All right, so somebody says, good morning all. What is going on now was going on before. A lot of them will not say anything if not the internet. Well, the thing of it is that the internet or social media has allowed for there to be a platform for it to go faster, more quickly, which is viral. So yeah, it existed before. Yes, I wouldn't say no, but social media is that platform for things for a lot more persons to see it in a much shorter space of time, right? So yes.
And while it existed, it's now amplified by a higher percentage. So yes, those sentiments and those behaviors existed. There was no platform and there was also no potential for amplification the way it has that capacity now. Yep.
You know, we won't go into conversation with it now, but I have to ask the question, do we actually want for things to change? Do we want our persons happy with a lot of negativity that they see? Or do we actually want, because if we mean to change something, we can change it. We as a society, we don't have to wait for the leaders or whoever to tell us not to do this or not to do that. But if the leaders don't say it, do we actually want to see that change? But we ain't gonna go into that today, right?
That's another post.
That's a whole other conversation.
Another post.
All right. So with that, we are heading on out of this segment. The time in SVG, it is 8:06, and our time check came through the compliments of New Haven Funeral Home.
Death is a fact of life. Even though death is a fact of life,